Each morning, as the world stirs and the light breaks gently through the window, there lies a sacred moment, a moment before the noise begins, before the phone buzzes, before the responsibilities and routines of the day sweep us into their current. It is in this moment that we are invited to pause, to be still, and to acknowledge the simple yet profound gift of being alive. Before the hustle, before the deadlines, the meetings, and the demands, there is breath. And in that breath is a quiet miracle. Gratitude before hustle means waking up not with a racing heart or a mind full of to-do lists, but with a spirit that says, "Thank you. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Thank you for the ability to rise from this bed. Thank you for another chance to try again, to love, to grow, to be." So often, we begin our day as if we are already behind, rushing to catch up to expectations and obligations. But what if we began instead by simply receiving the morning with open hands and a grateful heart? This shift in mindset is not about ignoring life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see first what is already good. It's about training the heart to recognize the sacred in the ordinary. The ability to wake up, stretch, breathe deeply, and witness a new day is something no amount of money can buy. It's a grace that should not be taken lightly. Yet, how often do we speed past it, rushing into productivity, chasing success, while bypassing the beauty of the present moment? When we begin the day with gratitude, we anchor ourselves in what truly matters. We remind our souls that we are not defined by what we do, what we achieve, or how much we accomplish before noon. We are defined by the simple truth that we are alive, and that in itself is enough reason to give thanks. Gratitude does not eliminate the hustle. It transforms it. It changes our posture from striving to serving, from surviving to appreciating. It empowers us to move through the day not with frantic energy, but with a grounded spirit. Each inhale is a reminder that something greater than us is sustaining us. Each heartbeat is proof that we are still here, still part of the unfolding story. And so we begin, not in stress, not in fear, not in distraction, but in quiet awe. In gratitude for the strength we still carry, the breath that still flows, the light that still shines. In this way, our morning becomes a sacred offering, our actions a reflection of thankfulness, and our journey today begins not from a place of lack, but from the deep well of abundance within. Ask Chat. As the morning light touches the world and stirs it to life, we are given a moment to reflect, not on what we must do, but on what has already been done for us. We often move forward so quickly, rushing from one obligation to the next, that we forget to pause and look back. But before we step into the demands of a new day, it is vital to remember that we made it through yesterday, and not by our strength alone. There were moments we thought we wouldn't make it, moments of doubt, exhaustion, frustration, even fear. Yet somehow we did. We reached the end of another day, not because we were perfect, not because we had all the answers, and certainly not because we had it all under control. We were carried. Quietly. Constantly. Faithfully. There was a presence with us, gentle and steady, guiding us through decisions we didn't know how to make, calming our hearts in chaos, lifting us when we felt weak. This is the presence we often overlook, yet it never overlooks us. The divine does not always come with thunder and lightning. Sometimes, it's found in the silent strength that helps us rise when we fall. In the inner peace that somehow comes even when our circumstances remain the same. In the comfort that shows up in a kind word, a deep breath, or an unexplainable sense that we are not alone. To acknowledge the divine presence is to humble ourselves. It is to admit that we are not self-sufficient, that while we may have talents and plans and determination, we are held together by something greater than ourselves. It is easy to think that our survival is the result of our own efforts, but grace tells a different story. Grace reminds us that even when we didn't have the strength, we were still carried forward. Not because we earned it, but because we are deeply loved. Each morning is an invitation to recognize that truth. We are not here by accident or luck. We are here because grace chose to carry us through one more time. And if it did yesterday, it will do it again today. That divine presence doesn't disappear when life is good or when we feel strong. It remains constant, whether we acknowledge it or not, but how much more peace we find when we do. When we stop for a moment, close our eyes, and say with a quiet heart, "Thank you for being with me." That awareness can transform the way we approach the day ahead. It takes the pressure off our shoulders and places it into hands far more capable. We no longer walk into the unknown alone. We walk with the confidence that we are accompanied, guided, and sustained. The divine does not promise an easy path, but it does promise presence. And in a world where so much is uncertain, that promise is more than enough. Ask ChatGPT. Before the noise of the day begins, before the world demands your attention, there is a quiet space that belongs to you and the one who formed you. It is in this space that you are invited to return to yourself, to breathe deeply, and to come home to your purpose. In this sacred moment, you are called not to react but to align, to bring your thoughts, emotions, and intentions into harmony with peace, with clarity, and with meaning. Your mind wakes up with 1,000 tabs open. Tasks to complete, people to contact, problems to solve. Your emotions might still carry the weight of yesterday, unresolved feelings, quiet fears, invisible burdens. If you're not careful, the day will carry you in every direction except the one that truly matters. But centering yourself in the morning is how you reclaim your direction. It's how you choose not to drift through the day, but to walk through it with grounded awareness. When you center your mind, you quiet the noise that does not serve you. You create space to think clearly, to remember what is true, to let go of the thoughts that cause chaos and cling to the ones that bring strength. It's not about pretending negativity doesn't exist. It's about not giving it power over your day. You choose what stays and what goes. You choose to begin your morning not with panic, but with perspective. When you center your emotions, you acknowledge them without judgment. You check in with your own heart. Are you anxious? Are you tired? Are you carrying something unspoken? Naming your emotions gives you power over them. It lets you meet yourself where you are, not where you wish you were. It allows you to respond with compassion rather than criticism, to give yourself the grace to feel and still move forward. And when you center your intentions, you ask yourself the deeper questions. Why am I doing what I'm doing today? What kind of energy do I want to bring into my relationships, my work, my choices? You are not a machine built only for productivity. You are a soul with a purpose far greater than any checklist. Centering your intentions reminds you that every action has meaning, and that you have the power to infuse even the most ordinary tasks with extraordinary purpose. This act of alignment does not take hours. It takes intention. A quiet moment of stillness. A whispered prayer. A deep breath. A choice to step into the day not with a scattered mind or a restless heart, but with peace that cannot be shaken. You carry that peace into every interaction, every challenge, every opportunity. And even when the day brings difficulty, you will return to that centered place within you, a place anchored not in chaos, but in calm, not in fear, but in faith, not in pressure, but in presence. Ask ChatGPT.